Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and again I will be sharing more about my student journey here in Canada as an international student. Now if you're decided on applying for the student pathway, it is important that you know that there are two types of application that you can do. One would be the regular pathway, and the second one is the expedited process, or what we call the SDS, or Student Direct Stream. Now, student pathway, getting a visa or obtaining a visa as a student is actually fast. It still is fast, but if you want to make it faster, let's say that you were approved, you got a letter of admission from your college or your university, and your semester is starting in a month or two, and you literally have to cram up and be able to be able to be here in Canada be here in Canada just in time for the first day of your classes. There are some situations wherein you have to make sure that you meet your first day of classes. So don't worry, don't fret about it. There's SDS that enables you to apply for a visa, and it gets processed on a priority basis. It's expedited, in other terms, okay? Now, with SDS, what is SDS, by the way? So this is where international students can get their applications processed faster, where they can get their student permits faster. Now, if you go through the SDS, Study Direct Stream, your applications will be processed within 20 calendar days. So that's less than 3 weeks. But again, it's not an automatic approval. Your application will still go through the regular screening process. You still have to meet the eligibility requirements, all of those stuff, but it's just going to be processed a lot faster. Okay, now if you want to go through this pathway, this is not for all. There are requirements that you have to meet so that you can qualify for this criteria. This is not available to all. This option is only available to legal residents of the following countries. So we have China, India, Morocco, Pakistan, Philippines, Senegal, and Vietnam. So if you are from those countries, you guys might want to look into this option so that you can have your applications processed faster. Okay, now the eligibility criteria. For your application to be processed under this stream, there are certain requirements that you have to accomplish before you can pass this application. So these requirements, to give you an idea, are not mandatory to be submitted in the regular pathway. This is only for the SDS pathway, okay? The first one is you should have already taken an English language exam. So you should already have your test results, and they're only accepting IELTS, International English Language Testing System, the IELTS exam. And for this case, you have to take the academic one. There's two versions of the IELTS exam, the academic and the general exam. So in this case, you are a student, you have to take up the academic exam. Yes, you should have already taken the language test, and you should have the test report form already. And not just, having taken the exam, you should score at least 6 overall band score, and 6 for every section. So 6 minimum 6 for speaking, writing, reading, and listening. Yes. So if you have taken IELTS exam and you got a 5.5, I'm sorry, but you would not qualify for the SDS, even if you have taken the exam. Okay? All right. Number two requirement to be able to apply under the SDS pathway is you should have a GIC. What is GIC? GIC stands for Guaranteed Investment Certificate. This is where you already deposit funds to a Canadian bank account, okay? So you should have a deposit here in Canada of 10,000 Canadian dollars. So this is basically like your proof of funds already, that your proof of funds for the first year of your studies is already settled, right? The cost of living, or the show money that the government requires, is that you have 10,000 for your cost of living expenses for a year. So in this case, for the regular pathway, you only need to show that you have that money, but in SDS, that money should be here in Canada already. So you have to set up an account with a bank here in Canada. So I was with Scotiabank when I had that GIC because I took this pathway already. So you deposit 10,000 over to that bank here in Canada. You'll be able to get that, but it's allotted to be given to you every month. When you come here, you go to the bank, you won't be able to withdraw that 10,000 all at once. They will be giving you, when you come here, to be able to start, at least you have a budget to look into your accommodation or your transportation or food budget for that one to have you settled. They will give you initially 2,000 Canadian dollars, and then for the next 12 months you will be receiving around $600. I would say I was getting about 633 for the next 12 months. So yeah, they divided the 8,000 for the next 12 months. So it's good in a way because you're secured that you have this set amount of budget every month, that you're not going to be left with zero money for a specific time of the year for the next 12 months. Yes, it is set at the same day every month. That will be deposited directly into your bank account. Unfortunately, you cannot withdraw it even if there's an emergency. I tried that one before, but no, you cannot because that's not how the GIC works. Okay? And the third requirement to be able to apply for the SDS pathway is to have proof of payment that you have already paid the first year of tuition. Yes. It's expensive, isn't it? Yeah. So proof of repayment could be receipt from the institution, letter from your school that they have confirmed that you have paid the first year of tuition. Yeah. And the receipt from the bank as well. If you have deposited it into the bank, wire transfer or anything like that. Yeah. Hey! The fourth requirement is you should have already done a medical exam. Yes. So in a regular pathway, you would submit the application first, and then if they require you to take a medical exam, which in most cases, yes, you would need to complete a medical exam, you will be receiving a request to perform a medical, and that's the only time that you have to go through the medical institution to complete your exam. But when you apply, if you want to apply for the SDS, you should do an upfront medical exam. So this is where you come and do the medical exam first, and they're going to give you a copy that you did that exam already, and then you submit that copy like a confirmation copy. Okay, so that's another expense that you have to shell out first. But I would say you can go ahead and do that because you're going to do it anyway, because you're going to be staying here in Canada for more than 6 months. And if you're going to stay here in Canada for more than 6 months, a medical exam is mandatory. Okay, yeah, so it makes no difference. It just, you would just do the medical exam up front before passing the application. Please do the medical exam a week before you lodge or you submit your application to ensure that they have already transferred your results over to, to the respective institution. All right, and of course, a letter of acceptance, which is a letter of acceptance from a recognized post-secondary DLI from your school of choice. And submit also most recent secondary or post-secondary educational transcripts. So if you are taking this as a second course, transcripts from your former university, or if you are a fresh high school graduate, then transcripts from your high school. Okay, all right, so those are the main requirements. That's the difference. If you want to go into the SDS, those are the additional requirements that you have to do before you submit the application. And keep in mind, those requirements should be done before you pass the application, because if you have one that's missing from those mandatory lists, that will be processed under the regular pathway. So please make sure you have all of those complete, aside from the other requirements for applying for a student permit visa. That's it for the SDS. If you have any questions, please comment them down below and I will get back to you. Thank you. Bye.